Hello, my name is Rajan Arora and welcome to my course Essentials of SQL Server Performance for Every Developer. You are watching the video module 5 capturing what your application is doing inside SQL Server, part 4 running a trace as a server-side trace. If you are new to this course, please start it from the course introduction video for better understanding. Thank you. When you use SQL Profiler to trace your SQL statements, what you really want to do is to run your trace as a server-side trace rather than an interactive mode. Because a server-side trace will consume fewer resources in SQL Server. So, what we do is use the SQL Profiler tool to set up the trace, meaning we select the events we want and add in any filters, and then we can instruct Profiler to give us a SQL file of the commands that need to be run in order to run this trace on the server side. So, let's see how to do this. I have the same trace here that we have been using throughout, and we have this all set up. And then all we need to do is go up here to File, Export and Script Trace Definition. Then we will choose from SQL Server 2005 to 2019. And we are just going to save the SQL file somewhere on our local machine. So now what we need to do is we need to open that SQL file in Management Studio. And I will jump over to Management Studio. And I actually have a version of this file that I saved earlier already opened up here in the window that we can see. We see that all the SQL file is a series of commands that we are going to run on SQL Server. The only thing that we need to do is to put in a file name of where the data is going to be logged to. And we see that we need to do that right here. And there is nice long comment telling us exactly what we need to do. The file path is going to be the path that is going to be up on a SQL Server. So that need to be a directory that exists on a machine that hosting SQL Server. In my case, I am running SQL Server locally, so the client and server are one of the same. But just remember that part is up on the server. So I will go ahead and set this. And then we will look through the rest of the file here just to see what else is in here. And what all these commands do is they set up the events that we want to capture and any filters. So, SQL Profiler has generated all of the correct SP, trace, set event commands for us, so we don't have to look up all of these different codes and IDs. So, all we have to do to start the trace now is to run this script. Again, you will need to be logged in as a user with the altered trace permission in order to run this trace. Otherwise, you are going to get an error. The user I am logged in as does have this permission. So, I am going to go ahead and get this trace started. And so now this trace will be running up on the server and collecting data and logging that data to the output file that we specified. One important thing to note here is the ID number for this trace that you get back down here in the result pane, because this is what we are going to need to stop the trace once we have captured all of the data that we need. So let's talk next about how we manage this trace. So first of all, you might want a status on what traces are running on SQL Server. Or maybe you forgot that number of the trace that we have just started. So let's see how we can find that information out. I will go over here to this other window where I have a couple of queries, and what you want to do is you want to query the system function fn trace get info, and by passing a 0 to this function, you will get back information on all traces that currently exist in SQL Server. So, I am going to go ahead and run this statement. And you see we get this information back. But this isn't a very user-friendly format. Trace number 1 is the system default trace that's always running. And then we see the information we have on your trace and we can convert it out our trace ID, the file and status information from this. But it's not very user friendly, so if we run this second query here, this will give us a little bit friendlier view of the data. So let's go ahead and run that. And you see, that's the same information. It is just in a little bit better format for us to consume. So now we have our trace that's been running for a while. We have collected the information that we need and we want to stop this trace. And so how do we do that? Well, what we do is we run a stored procedure named sp trace set status, and I have the various use cases of that stored procedure over in this third window. So as you can see here, you pass in your trace ID and a value of 0 if you want to stop the trace. If after some time you want to restart the trace, you would pass in the trace ID and a value of 1 to restart that trace. So then after you have stopped the trace, if you want to remove the definition of the trace from SQL Server, you would call this procedure again with the value of 2. And what that does is it just remove the definition of the trace in SQL Server. It doesn't go out and delete any trace file that was generated. Whenever SQL Server restarts, all these trace definitions get removed. This is just a way that we can clean up things when we are finished and keep our SQL Server tidy. So I am going to go ahead and I am going to stop this trace. And so at this point we have covered what you need to know about how to run a server side trace. Now once one of these traces has been taken either by you or maybe somebody on your DBA team, and you have this .trc file of the trace data, how do you view the data that's in this file? That's pretty easy. You just open them up in SQL Profiler. So I am going to go back to SQL Profiler and I will select File, Open and then Trace File. And then I just find the trace file I want to open. I select and say Open in the dialog box. And now that file will open up in Profiler. From here, you can review the file in Profiler or use Profiler to load the data into a table in SQL Server, whatever meets your needs. This wraps up our discussion of SQL Profiler. So now we are going to move on and talk about SQL Server Extended Events, which for our purpose do much the same thing, but is really the preferred tool on new versions of SQL Server for taking traces like this, and also gives us the capability to trace SQL statements on SQL Azure also. So we will take a look at extended events in the next video. If you like this video, please do share, like and subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Thank you and see you in the next video.